Hello, welcome to the cold start video for the 1962 Jaguar MKII. Very quickly, I'll just get this. So this is onto the rocket head there. We're looking at 3.2 degrees, dropping it down to the bodywork around 3 degrees. So it's a very, very cold morning today. John, if you can start the engine, please. Can I call the revs, please? Thank you. Couple of revs again, please. Thank you. Let's move into the car itself. So obviously the car, can you remember the last time you were out in the car?
About 25 years ago.
25 years ago. So obviously we're driving around. It's been for an MOT and everything, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's been checked over and some work's been done on it to make sure it's roadworthy.
Yeah.
Obviously we're just having a few teething problems with it at the moment. It's just sort of get bed in again, isn't it? You know, it's getting used to it. So let's quickly go through it. It's obviously the engine you rebuilt years ago.
Yeah.
It seems to be driving quite nicely. We've sort of had to play around with the choke a little bit just to try and get it just right. But yeah, it's driving nicely.
Yeah.
You've got plenty of power.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and obviously sitting in the seat here, I'm feeling it go when it goes. So obviously we're going well. How about stops? The brakes, do they feel good?
Well, they feel different because I'm used to the power assisted ones now. These.
That's it. Yeah. Obviously, when you put your foot on the brake, it's stopping, as it should do.
They still feel very healthy.
Obviously, this is a manual. It's a manual car.
Yeah.
How does the clutch and the gear changes feel on it?
Very strange.
Yeah.
I've run it out. It's going to run out.
Oh, just.
Got it back up on me. I don't know why.
We seem to have had a bit of a breakdown, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've managed to limp it back to John's home here, so at least we can sort of say we got back, and we're going to crack on with the interview. So very quickly, we kind of started talking about this before we had our problems and decided to stop the video. So the engine was running quite nicely, wasn't it, in the beginning?
Yeah.
It was pulling hard.
Yeah.
You can probably see it from the Meet the Owner video that we did before that. It was driving along quite nicely. But then we started to get a misfire. Obviously, the distributors obviously been on there for quite some time.
Yeah.
I had a look under the bonnet. The leads did look as old as me, as old as the car itself. So suspecting that there's probably something wrong in that there, because after a little jiggle it started firing up again quite nicely, and that's how we got back. Just a few little adjustments and we got back okay. So obviously it went well. Obviously you were talking about the brakes, sort of saying how they're nothing compared to a modern car, are they?
No.
But it does stop, doesn't it? It stops nicely.
Past the MOT, so it must be alright, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously that's in the paperwork, obviously, that's done MOT. Again, the steering.
Steering's fine, yeah. Heavy, but
again, no power steering,
No.
but yeah, I mean, I was watching you drive around, and it was doing well. It was fine.
Oh yeah, the big wheel helps. Yeah.
And the indicators and all that were
Yeah.
working whilst we were driving around the place. All the gauges were working as they should. The sort of the charging gauge was sort of bouncing up and down as needed. The fuel gauge was about quarter of tank, and it drops off afterwards. Oil pressure was staying up, and towards the end, the oil pressure was coming up, and towards the end, the water pressure was also water temperature was starting to come up as well. The choke worked really well in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Obviously, then we started having our problems, unfortunately. So the brakes are good, the steering's good, the electrics inside the car are good. Obviously we've had this little problem with the ignition leads and that, so obviously that's something for you potentially to repair before it goes to the new owner.
Definitely be done next week, yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Also, whilst we're driving along, there was no vibration in the steering wheel, was there?
No.
It was sort of sitting nice and straight. But yeah, so unfortunately we can't get any sort of through the windscreen action on this car, unfortunately, but it's got home, and you're going to get it sorted, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you for watching. I'm sorry it hasn't been as exciting as normal videos, and hopefully you've had the information needed to decide whether it's a car for you or not. And I'd like to say thank you very much to John for hosting me today. He's been absolutely brilliant, and his wife's made me several cups of tea that have been spot on as well. So thank you very much for that. And thank you all for watching as well.